Welcome everybody to day 29, another day of building the flight booking engine. I hope you're all excited to build again. I want to make sure that this project is a great success, and I'm sure that you all do. So let's continue. I want to run the front end, the backend is already running. I was playing around with a few things which I want to show you. So I'll type conda deactivate. Can I spell this correctly? Conda deactivate. Then I need to move back. I need to move into, not back, to that front-end directory and say nvm. Let me expand so you can see. Nvm use 20, then npm run dev. It should be good enough. Okay, now I can go to the browser. So I think we had it somewhere running this. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, let's use this recent. I can delete this and use this recent one. I need to zoom out a little bit. Then yeah, I think that's good. So we can do a search just to see where we are at. Let's say London. So we choose London to New York. Set the departure date to 19th, the return to that date. Okay, they can leave the rest as they are and hit a search. So they want us to implement entering traveler data so that we can finally now make a booking. Okay, so if I select this flight, the price is confirmed, and here we are. Okay, so after this, we want that when you click confirm price and continue, you're taken to the appropriate page. But you see, it took us back. Okay, are you seeing after this? We want to avoid this kind of situation. Okay, these are bugs we shall have to fix later. Let me first resolve this. From JFK to London on 19th to 21st. Search. So you know some of the obvious things we're doing. And then I can select a particular flight, for example, this one. Okay. So when we click continue, we want to go to the actual booking page where we enter now the details of the passengers. Okay. So, but before we do this, I want to show you something. Okay, interesting, because we're going to integrate an endpoint that takes in the traveler information or traveler's information in addition to this flight offer. Okay. So to do that, I'll go back to the backend and show you. So in the past, we had a function in the service called get flight order, and then we go to when we go to the function. Okay, this is the this is called in the service. Okay, we have a service here called Amadeus service. Okay, that is responsible for getting the Amadeus credentials. Okay, it gets the API key and then gets the API secrets. Okay, using the API key and the API secret, it creates a client. Okay, by passing in the API key and API secret. Okay, and this gives us an instance of self.amadeus. So down here in each of these functions uses it. Okay, So here we have a function called, a function called get flight order that is responsible for getting a flight order. Okay, which is okay. It gets a flight order by using a flight order ID. But this is not what I want to show you. What I want to show you is creating. This one here, create flight order. So what does it do? It picks a flight offer and it picks the list of travelers from the request body. For now, you can see that most of the types here are dict, but I'm going to change them to have real pandatic models so that we have validation. Okay. Now we have the flight offer here and we have a traveler's information. If not flight offer, we raise an a value error. If not travelers, we raise a value error. But of course, this is handled from this other side, okay? From this flight order request body, okay? There is no need for us to have it in the service. I think we have a flight offer and the list of travelers, okay? So I'll remove this in a moment. Then after that, we have a statement here which says self.amadeus.booking.offers.post. Okay, so this is how we create an order, a flight order using these two variables, the flight offer and the travelers. Remember, travelers is the list. Okay, so once we pass the flight offer and the travelers, and this is successful, we get back a response, and that response has a data attribute. That's what you're saying, the data here. Okay, as simple as that. Then we return that booked flight. Remember, it is booked, not issued. So in travel, booking and issuing are two different things. So the flight has been booked but not issued. Not issued yet. The ticket has not been issued. So in case of an error, okay, this is for debugging, okay? I print the Amadeus error. Then if the error has an attribute called response, I print the response, that body of that error, okay? So these are some of the changes I made, okay, earlier on. I wanted to explain it to you so that when you look at the code on GitHub, you're not confused. So if you want, by the way, if you don't know, in the description of every stream, there is the code on GitHub, okay? So if you need it, just head over there and have fun with it in your free time. So let's continue. I want to show you the actual path operation. So in the path operation here, we have a path operation decorator, okay? Then we have the actual path operation function. Oh, the request is flight order request body, which is the same, which remains the same, and its definition is here, okay? A flight offer of type dict, okay? And travelers, which is a list of dictionaries. Just keeping it basic for now, but these are going to be turned into pandatic models, okay? To be accurate, okay? Then I just have here a number of descriptions, okay? All right. Then maybe I can take you back here. So to finish, then we have the current user, the session, okay? So this helps with authentication, okay? Then this helps with the database. And that one you know. But now I made some changes, okay? I wanted to try out better error handling with Amadeus, okay? And I wanted this to be like the next step in my API path operations. So going forward, I'm going to make sure that all my functions have this error handling, okay? And I'm going to explain it to you in a moment. After having this error handling, I'm going to set up a layer of logging, okay? Like that, as I keep on improving the endpoints. Make sure that the MVP is strong enough. So here in the body, basically it's the same. I say request.model dump, okay? I get the request body as a dictionary. Then I send it to the service to create the order. When the service passes, okay, we should have the response should have what? An ID, the flight order ID. Okay. If it's not there, it means something failed. Then the response is invalid. Okay. Then I come here. Okay. I try some statements here. But even then, whether I may not need to do this, because in case anything here fails, okay, it will be caught by one of these. So right here I have a booking. Okay. I track the booking using the user ID and the flight order ID. Okay, then I add it to the session, I commit and refresh. In case there's an error in the DB, I roll back. Okay, after rolling back, we simply raise an exception. Okay, a 500 internal error saying the booking was created successfully but failed to save the database. Please contact. Okay, but even they may not be need to send this kind of message to the what? To send this kind of message. I need to change it to something better. To something like booking. Can I say booking book process failed, booking failed, try again. For now I'll just have it here, but to know what went wrong, later I will what? I will log. Okay, I'll call my log. I'll say logger dot log and do something like that. Okay, but for now let me leave. Okay, so that's one part. There's still room for improvement here. In fact, even after looking at it, I'm seeing so many issues again to fix. Let's go to the next block. The next block was the value error here. Okay, in case of any value error, I simply convert that string to the error to a string and then send a 400. Then for a client error, okay, now this way it gets interesting. Okay, I call a function called parse Amadeus client error, and this function is responsible for producing a human-friendly user message. Okay, and of course it raises also an HTTP exception with a status 400 and the actual error. Okay, so let us go into this function to see what it does. Okay, so this function simply, first of all, has a dictionary. Okay, which is a map of whose keys are uh so you're seeing this, we have these values mapped to these other stuff. Okay, so an error code mapped with some actual message, error code mapped to an actual message. Okay, where did I get it from? Let me go to the browser to show you. So in my Amadeus here has the errors. Okay, this way I derived them from. So you see the code. For example, if you use this code, you have an invalid format. If you have something like this, it means booking failed. If you see this one says segment, it means the segment cell failure. Okay. You see something like this, it means not applicable fair. Okay. If you see this one, it means invalid data received. If you see this one, invalid length. So I got all of them and I have them in my code. Okay, here with a better explanation that a human can read and understand. So these are the error messages. Okay, then there's a default message in case things are just wrong, and in case the error is none of these. Okay, the default message will be unable to process your booking request. Please verify your information and try again. Then I check if the error object doesn't have an attribute response, or the error dot response has no attribute body. Okay, I return the default message. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you, because my goal is to print a message. Okay. I want to print a message, but usually the message is in something like in the body, like error. Okay. I'll say error dot response dot body. Okay. This becomes the message. Okay. But to print, to get that actual message, you must have you must first of all have response on this error and then body on response. So if none of them exist, if error doesn't exist or error dot response doesn't exist, then if error dot response doesn't exist or error dot response dot body doesn't exist, then I simply return this default message. Okay, let's continue. So in case that error dot response dot body exists, then I try to pass the body. See, error dot response dot body. I get the body. Okay. Then I check if the body is a string. Okay. Then I can convert it to JSON. Otherwise, if it's not, I leave it as what it is. Okay. So if it's a string, I convert it. Okay, using JSON.loads. Otherwise, I leave it. Then from this error body, okay, I get errors. Okay. Otherwise, if there are no errors, I simply return a simple list. Okay. But errors is responsible for returning a list of errors. That's the goal of this. So if there are no errors, like for example, maybe like maybe an empty list, or it is, I simply what? Say booking service error. I return that. But if there are errors, okay, I pick the first error at the first index 0, pick the code, the error code, pick the title. If it exists, if it doesn't exist, I just say none, unknown error, pick the detail and pick the source. Otherwise, it will be an empty dictionary. Then now I start checking, okay? I check if the error code is an integer, okay? And the error code exists in error messages. Remember our error message is up here. Okay, so if the error code is an integer and it exists in this, okay, then I return that error message. Okay, as simple as that. On the other hand, okay, I just simply now construct a message from the title and the detail. Okay, do you know how that happens? I get the error title, this error title here. Okay, so the message in this case will be the error title. Okay, if there's an error detail, the message will be a combination of the error title, a full colon, and the error detail. Okay, if there's an error source and a quad parameter in the error source, then I get the parameter and example from error source. But if there is no example, it will be simply an empty string. So if there's an empty string, I get the previous message and add to it parameter and the value, example, and the value. Otherwise, I only add the parameter and its value. As simple as that. Then finally here, return the message if the message is not equals to unknown error. Okay. No, if the message is not equals to an unknown error, okay, I return this message. Otherwise, the default message, which is here. But in case there's an exception, I simply return the default message, which is this one. So yeah, it takes some time to understand. You'll need to read through it to understand. So I didn't want to push the code and you guys find the code and you wonder what went on. Okay. But a number of things, of course, to modify. So yeah, let me go back. Where is this function? Where is this function? So that you understand it properly. Yeah, this was it. So what I just been explaining this Paz Amadeus client error is being used here to get a human-friendly message. How did I get the intention of that? From their documentation, okay? All these error codes and their titles, okay? So for example, you say errors is a list, okay? A list of dictionaries, okay? That is why you find that in this function here, when I scroll, where is that part? I think I say error body dot get errors, okay? So when I get errors, I'm getting this, okay? I'm getting this list, okay? So that if it's not there, I simply return an empty list. Okay, so if it is falsy, like an empty list, I simply say booking service error with the body. But if it is at least one, then the code will come to this part and we shall say get errors at index 0, okay? Which will be like, for example, this first one here, okay? And from that error, I can get the code. For example, you see here there's a code, okay? Get the code 4477. If I go up here and I say I look for 4477, it means invalid format, okay? And even in my error messages, if you look at error messages here, I have 744477, meaning invalid data format. Okay, follow me closely. Okay, then we also have first error. Okay, dot get title. If I go back to the documentation, you see that we have a title. Every error message has a invalid. It has a title, and in this case, it's called invalid format. Then we have error dot detail. This one has a detail, okay, which says invalid query parameter format. Then again, if I come back here to the source, so we're saying first error dot get source. If I come back here, you see we have source, okay? Source is also a dictionary. It has parameter and example, okay? So for example, if you go down here, you see when I'm saying if error source and parameter in error source, then I say error source dot get parameter, error source dot get example. That means I'll be fetching this parameter and example. You get, so to give the user a credible, a user-friendly message. Okay. So take your time. I'm going to push this code after this stream so that you also take the time to read it and understand it and even make it better or make suggestions. Okay. So that is there. And why is it starting with the underscore? Because it's private. Okay. I want it to be a private function. All right. So I get that friendly message and simply return it here as the detail for this. Okay. Then finally here, in case it's not a value error or a client error, I simply re-raise the exception as it is. Okay. Then of course I have here the final exception as E, which is simply raises an HTTP exception with a code of 500 and with this detail saying unexpected error while creating the flight order. Please try again. Okay. So I know you're curious to know, is it now working? Yes, it's working. I finally fixed it. Actually, if you compare with what we had previously, okay, this is much better. Okay, compare with what we had previously. Okay, before I push the code. But of course, you can look at the commit messages to see. So I'll come to Postman just to show you. Okay, so it says unauthorized request. So let's log in. Again, if you're watching this and we're not there when we're implementing this, check the playlist. You'll see that we have it. So I'll set this as a variable, bearer token, okay. Come back here, okay, and send a request. So it has passed, okay. Says 200, okay. So we have now a flight order, okay, with its ID, queuing, office ID, associated records, okay, and the flight offers, okay. In our case, of course, we have only one flight offer, okay. We have information for the travelers, the same information actually, okay. Same thing, okay. So all this is passing, okay. So now what we need to do, okay, is to make sure the front end sends the request. What request do you expect from the from the front end? The front end has to send something like this, okay? Maybe I can actually show you from the code, okay? The front end has to obey this flight order request body, okay? Has to send a flight offer, okay, and a travelers, okay? So ideally, if you go to Postman, just look like this, okay? So this is how it's a JSON object, okay? When you open inside, there are two keys. There is flight offer and travelers. Right now, we are dealing with only one flight offer. Then when I open it, okay, we see that we have the details of the flight offer, okay? And I was reading somewhere that you have to be careful with this. Actually, if we put a flight offer which does not, for example, like a flight offer which is not valid anymore, and maybe the data is now stale or there's no booking anymore, shall get an error. Okay, for example, if I show you, let me show you from documentation, shall get an error. Like for example, segment fail, segment sell fair. Okay, or something like booking failed. Okay, could mean the flight is not available anymore. So then after that, we need to put the travelers. Okay, we need to be able to set the correct date of birth, their name, their gender, their contact information like the email, the phones. Okay, we need to put information concerning their documents. Okay, in our case, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep store only passports. Okay, someone will enter their passport, their birthplace, insurance location, the issue date, the passport number, the expiry date, the issuance country, validity country, nationality. Okay, I'll deal with only the documents. Then, yeah, contact information should also be included, of course, for every traveler. Okay, for the flight offer, we already have the flight offer. Okay, but when I was reading somewhere, they said that. Okay, let me just expand this. They said that when you're doing the traveler pricing, if you, this traveler pricing, this ID, okay, should match what is here. Okay, so I think traveler ID1. Okay, but I only read it, but I'm not sure. Let me try to prove it right now and see if they were right. Send. So if they were right, it should fail. So you see, we got a bad request. Okay, I think they're saying invalid. Now you see we're now getting a beta error saying invalid data received. Please verify all required fields are filled correctly. Okay, so it has to match. So the traveler ID say 1. Okay, and this is we said 1 adult. Okay, so I guess if we have like 2 adults, this should change. Okay, it's quite tricky. So let's just send again to see if I'm correct. If this passes, then what I read will be correct. So you see, go to 200. Okay, very quite tricky. All right, now that is done, we now need to go to the front end. Okay, in fact, maybe I can push this so that you guys have access. Let me push and say git status backend sample flight data. I don't need this backend slash sample. I'm not seeing this file here. Oh, it's right here. I don't need it. That's why it's good to do a git status sometimes. So I'll clear my screen. Git status. Okay. I can add. Okay. I can say number 1, say refactor. and say add user friendly error messages to error handling on flight order path operation. I hope this is a good message. If you have a better one, please let me know. Okay, so some checks have failed. Rough check has failed. Rough format has also failed. Okay, but it has fixed. Okay, see, 4 files formatted, so it's okay. Actually, if you check the code base, you see it has reformatted a number of things. Okay, a number of things have been reformatted. So what I can do is simply stage again. Okay, stage the same thing again, and then commit. Okay, so you see this time it has passed. All of them have passed. Okay, rough check, rough format, rough PyTest. Okay, now I can push a git push. I won't push to my rep, but I'm going to push to yours so that you can see. Git push public minus mirror, like that. So you guys can have that code and you have it there. Okay. All right. Now, how do you guys, by the way, write your commit messages? If you have a different way, please let me know. So yeah, we know that this is now working. All we have to do is make sure that the front end sends the correct data. So what do I need to do? Close this, okay. And now let's go to the front end, okay. So what page is this? What page is this? Is the flight/1, okay. Let's go. It's not this one, of course. Flights should be this one, okay, because we have, remember this this URL, okay. There's an ID at the end. And then actually this button, you can search. Using this button, I can search for it, confirm and continue. This is what I always do. In code base like this, just come here, Control F, confirm and continue. See, there it is, confirm and continue button. And this is what it's saying router.push, okay, but it's pushing to the wrong place. That's why it was taking us back to the home page. We don't need to go back to the home page. You get? We need to go to the to the booking page, okay, where we can now see the actual booking form and stuff like that. So what is this? I need to remove this and I show you that page should be bookings, okay. So bookings, why is not the a genuine booking page here? Say booking ID. Okay, yeah, this is the page because I'm seeing mock data, okay. So then there's also success. Okay, this is a success page. But there should be like a general booking page, okay? Without having to have this ID. That's what I think. I don't know what you guys think. Unless we are viewing a particular booking, okay? Unless we're keeping track of this ID here, okay? This ID. And what is that ID? That ID is got from if I go to the hero section, I go to the booking form, router dot push, okay, /flight, that is okay. So it should be in flights, this page, I want to show you. It's how I find out here there's nothing. Okay. I'll take long to get it. Let me just do this. Okay. Let's just navigate to slash booking. Okay. So slash booking is referring to this directory. Okay. If you know Nextjs, Nextjs has what they call it, file-based routing. Okay. So slash booking slash, we can now put the ID. Okay. So to get that ID, we'll come up here. I think this flight offer. Flight offers have an ID. Actually, I think this console.log. Let us investigate it to see where the actual flight ID is. To avoid, I think this object. I think ID. So it's what we're going to use. Okay. ID, this ID here of 1. Okay. So when I go back to the code, I'll say to pick that ID, I'll say I'll use this flight offer. Okay. Where is flight offer? Okay, this flight offer. Then I'll look for that button continue, confirm and continue, this one here. So I want this to be a variable. Okay. So I'll change this from single quotes to this symbol. I don't know what is this symbol called. Let me type it in Google. I always forget it. What is this one called? Backquote backtick. Yes, called the backtick. Am I tired or what? How can I forget its name? So it's a backtick. So you put backticks at the one backtick at the beginning and another backtick at the end of the string. Okay. Then where I want to have the variable, I put a dollar, then 2 curly brackets. Okay. Then I can say flight offer dot ID, like that. Okay. This is how it is. So now if I go to that button, okay, if I close here and I inspect this button, it should have changed. Oh, it doesn't print the HTML on the HTML. What's wrong with me? This is JavaScript. Oh my god! Someone needs to give me a refresh on JavaScript. I see. I was expecting to look at what here, okay, and see it. Then I remember it's actually not printable on the HTML, but it's JS. Okay. So there's only one way to find out if I'm correct. Okay. Only one way to find out if I'm correct. But are we keeping this in the state? Let me see. Select flight. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's in the state, but we also need to like persist it. Okay. So that if the page is refreshed, we don't lose. I'm just seeing that even by the time I finish this, finishing this MVP has work, guys. All right. Let's test it. Click confirm. There it is. Okay. So we have confirmed the flight. Okay. So it's in the page. This is the page. Just things like sign in to continue. Already have an account. Need to error bound. Okay. Sorry. So when you're on this page, okay, my thought process was this. When you've confirmed, you've selected the particular flight, okay, before you continue to do the booking, you need to first of all sign in. Okay. You need to sign in to create an account so that we know who is this person. Okay. But remember, when you're entering the traveler information, you're going to enter your email. So I'm thinking maybe if someone enters their email, all I need to do is to send the ticket to that email they used for registration. That was one thought process. But another thought process was that first make someone to sign in, okay? Then they are able to finish the process. Okay, but look at this. So if you click sign in, you have this button, okay, to sign in. Otherwise, you create an account, okay. But I'm thinking I want to remove that, okay, and just go directly to traveler info, okay. Finish the whole booking process, okay. Then maybe later I can integrate, kind of intercepting. I need to think about this flow properly, okay. So let's go cancel this. Wait, doesn't need to cancel it. I'll leave it open. But what we need is this page. It has a lot of mock data. Actually, I used AI to generate these user interfaces, but there's a lot of stuff to remove from here. Okay. So I'm going to remove a lot of rubbish. So I'm going to need to remove all this. Okay. All this. I'm going to try to remove this stuff. Let's see. Which one can I use? Gemini. Let me use Claude. What models do you guys use by the for when you're working with AI? I'm very curious to know what you guys use. So I'll say act going forward, act as a senior backend, senior front. I'm the entire senior front end developer. So here I'll just say ask and send. Wow, keep having messages. Who is sending messages? All right. Saying now acting as a field, I've reviewed your booking page, authentication, traveler information, contact details, payment, review. So what I'm going to remove, I'm going to remove this authentication. I'm going to remove payment for now, okay? Just to keep it simple so that we can enter the traveler information and the contact details, okay? And send to the API to integrate, okay? That's how I integrate my things step by step. What I want to do is to achieve this. You see what we have in Postman, the flight offer and the travelers. As simple as that. Flight offer and travelers. Then once you're done with that, next time maybe you can now look at authentication, okay, payment and stuff like that. So I'll now say eliminate step 1 and 4. Let me just do like this. Eliminate step 1, that, even this too. Then we shall review. Let's see what it says. I'll help you streamline the booking flow by removing the authentication and payment steps, keeping the only essential traveler and contact information steps. I'm now seeing this and remembering it. Okay, I'm using TypeScript. Crazy. I need, okay, so it has kept the traveler info. Okay, I want to just see that the type matches what we want. Okay, so if you go to Postman, travelers, okay, we have an ID, date of birth, and name. Even here, it has put an ID, traveler, and name. Okay, remember the format of this is not direct. We have name, which is an object. Okay, then we have date of birth. We have the date of birth. Okay, date of birth is also here. We have gender, email, phone. No. Email, phone, not really. Maybe it is inside here. It is inside this email, phones. You see, contact under contact. So it needs to nest it. Calling, documents. Where is documents? Okay, documents is also is a list. It needs to take not an object like this. It needs to be a list. Are you seeing here this format? So we have to, the formats have to match. If the structure, I mean the format and the structure have to match. If it does not match, we shall cry tears. Okay. So we're going to tell it that's why it is important to review code given by AI. If you look at the contact info, contact info, string, what is it trying to do? It's trying to do this. I think maybe to fill in this, but still it's not even doing it the right way. Okay. This is actually repetitive. Okay. So you've seen the first mistake. Sometimes I feel like maybe I just do AI is starting to make me lazy, that I'm starting to feel like reliant on it, but again, you have to review its code. Then it does all this. Okay, it doesn't need to do this. I guess it needs to be guided. Okay, I'll give it this. Copy. The goal is to follow the following example request structure from the backend. So it turns out if you don't know actually what you're doing, you can't even guide this thing to tell it to do the right thing. So I'll switch to agent. Then I think I'll leave Sonnet 4.5. I don't know what's the best mode right now. Let me click send. As I do that, I want to do this. I want to check for LLM leaderboard. I want to see what's the best LLM right now for. So there's this one and there's this one here. Which LLM is best for coding at this point? And it's still loading. Check this one. So this is still verifying. They don't trust me. Okay, I'll expand this so that you see clearly. So what is it? So it says, see how leading models stack across image, vision, and beyond. This page gives you a snapshot. I want something that's good at code. They're not showing anything. They're saying text web. Okay, web development. But this is at HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, let us see. Okay, look at this. GPT-5 looks to be the best. There's Gemini. Sonnet 4.5 is actually low. So I think I might choose GPT-5. Let me close this leaderboard. Check this other leaderboard. Where is coding? It's the best LLM code. The GPT-5 is still the best. Okay. So GPT-5 is winning on 2. So GPT-5 is beating Claude. The last time I checked, it was Claude leading. let's check this other one and we see. What does this one here say? Best in reasoning, best in high school math, best in agentic coding. Now here they're showing Grok, then GPT-5. Okay. So in the other ones, GPT-5 was first, here it is second. So maybe on average, I'll give GPT-5, but I'm seeing Grok beating it by 0.1. Okay. Let's stop. It's not about AI. So it is still working. Okay. They say GPT, actually, a friend told me GPT-5 looks slow, but actually gives the best results. Well, what is this guy doing? Let us see. Says I'll update the booking page to match the backend API request structure. This involves properly formatting the travel data and integrating the flight offer from the previous step. Let me read the current file to see its structure. Let me create a complete updated file with proper API integration. Sometimes these things do what you've not asked them to do. I did not ask you to integrate any API. Okay? Because that's not how I solve my issues. People always create like a rules.md file, okay? But in the long run, these tools end up not even obeying them. Maybe I'll try to create them one more time. Let me read the current files and replace it properly. Given that the file is large, 834 lines, let me create a comprehensive summary document instead of explaining the changes. So it is creating what? This document. Says perfect, I've created a comprehensive integration guide. Let me provide you with a summary as a senior front-end developer. So this is the file it has created. Crazy. I've created a detailed integration guide. Key changes required. Let's check. This has not changed, okay? I want to change to GPT-5. I want to add context to the whole front-end directory. Then, now look at what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to give it what it's supposed to do, this. First of all, I'll say remove authentication and payment and review steps. And them removed before we update this, okay? There's no need for this to be there. So there's sign in, traveler info, contact payment. Sign in will be established later. Let me check the time. Wow, I thought I would be done earlier, but I'm seeing it is 53 minutes to time. I mean, 53 minutes past time. Okay. What is it doing? So GPT-5 is actually as slow as they say, but from the benchmarks, it looks. This is quite faster. Whoa, 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 whoa. Someone give me coffee. It's really slow. I'm going to switch back. This time I'm going to use Grok. Is Grok here? There is 4 or I think I'll just use my sonnet. Okay. Because it looks like GPT-5. Oh my god. GPT-5 is something else. I thought I only experience it when I'm doing command line issues, but in agentic AI, it's getting real. Because isn't this like more than a minute? It's more than a minute. I don't know how many people are willing to wait for this. Okay, looks like it has done something. Okay. Let's just see. But it's really taking long. I mean, if you're taking this long to make those, what they call them, SATA info, it's crazy. Okay, so see this, the adult one, child two, travel document. Okay, so these are the kind of things we need to change. I'm only going to have passport. Okay, only. Then the document. Okay, maybe I can leave ID card, but I want to have only one validation: the expiry date, nationality. I think like now this, it is limited. Okay, we need to put all nationalities. Oh, so this is the total document for. So I think for every. So this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, that is why it is important. I think it is important even when you're going to use AI to know what you want to achieve. Okay. So remember, in our previous step, okay, when we were booking, actually from the very first step, when we were creating the slide, when we were searching for flights, if you remember, I chose only one traveler who is an adult. Okay, which means here on this page, we need to have only one section here for adults. This, okay, that is something we need to work on. Secondly, if we had a child, we should have what? A traveler and child. If we had 3 adults, we should have this like maybe 4 times to enter 4 adults. Okay. If we have 3 adults, 2 children, 1 infant, we should have 4 entries for 4 adults, 2 entries for the 2 children, and 1 entry for the child, for the infant, I mean. Okay. So my goal is that this form should be flexible according to the number of travelers and the type of travelers. I hope that makes sense. So let me go back here. So it is done. It says remove authentication step, remove payment step, keep and align contacts. So we just need to review it a bit. So it has removed this, which is okay. So if you look at the traveler data, it has kept it. Okay, removing. The removing is okay. I can say keep. Okay. This MD file. Okay, let me just leave it for now. Okay, but I'm going to delete it. Yeah, I don't need it. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, step by step. I want it, first of all, fix the types. Okay, the types. Okay, types for traveler. Okay, where is that? We had it somewhere in Postman. Okay, copy this. I'll say I want the context to be the entire backend and not backend. I'll remove this one. I want to add context for the front end. Then I'll say, okay, I'll say change implement. I'll say implement types. I'll say implement interface types according to match this structure. Do nothing else. It will be interesting if it does more. Oh, I forgot, guys. Let me kill this. We cannot use GPT. GPT, okay, it is accurate, but it might keep us here long. I rather do GPT when I'm working offline. Okay, we have now passed an hour. I guess I'll do what I have to do right now, then maybe we can continue in the next session. Let me see how many minutes I can spend more, maybe 10 at most. I'd say 8 more minutes. I call it this is I'll update the TypeScript interfaces. So I think actually AI helps us best if we guide it to do small changes. If you allow it to do huge changes, oh my god, it can break you. Yeah. So I want to try to do small changes. So I asked it to change the type, but has it? Says I've uploaded flight offer.tsx with the complete interfaces updated. No. What has it done? Our guy is tired. All fields match the exact structure. I'll do this. Start a new chat. Okay. Come here. Create types to match the following that will data structure, JSON structure. Wow. Do we have a senior vibe coder? Who here believes in vibe coding? I don't even believe in it. I believe in using AI to code, but you have to be very careful and to actually review the code. Otherwise, it can end into tears. So it says I've created the Oh, look at this. It created them in a different file. That's what I was not getting. Okay. Looks like it's me who is the problem. Okay. So let's review this. Okay. I think this in Postman we have a flight offer and travelers. Okay. Even here we have flight offer, flight booking data. Okay. Flight offer and travelers. Okay. So this is the type of we start with this one, flight offer. Flight offer has the type, ID, string, ticketing, all these. Okay. Itineraries, pricing option, traveler pricings. Okay. This looks correct. If you go to the flight offer here, we shall see the same thing. Okay. Type, ID, source, instant ticketing, non-homogeneous payment card, itineraries. Okay. All these others are nested. Itineraries, price, pricing options, validating airline codes and traveler pricings are nested, which are here. Okay. Itineraries, pricing option, validating airlines, traveler pricings. Okay. Okay, then itinerary. This one is of this type. Okay, having segments. So I'll do this. Use this. I want to see what the thing for this is a definition for a segment, location info, aircraft. Let me do this. I want to see one for traveler. If it's correct. Traveler pricing. Okay. That one looks okay. Traveler ID, fare option, traveler type, price, fare details by segment. Then the travel state I wanted to see. We have ID, date of birth, name, gender, contact. If I come here to postman, because this is what our source of truth, okay? Name should be nested. Name is of type name, okay? First name, last name. Okay, that's good. Then contact. If you come here to postman, contact should have email address. Then phones nested. And it's a list of objects, something like device type, country calling code, and the number. I'll come here, say phone, okay, contact, email address, and phone. Phone device type, country calling code, number. This is correct. Okay, next up, we need to verify document. So document has document type, birthplace. So here, I'm not seeing anything nested, okay? I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back here. This is what? Document, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. So document type and birthplace. Document type and birthplace. Insurance location, insurance date. Insurance location, insurance date. Number, expiry date, insurance country. Number, expiry date, insurance country. Validity, nationality, holder. Validity, nationality, holder. Okay, I'll keep those changes. In case of anything, we shall need to fix. Okay. So now we need I need to import this. The what's this again? Okay, flight booking, flight offer. I don't need these ones. Okay. I think like it oh, I see, it created a different file having them. Okay. So we need to choose one. How did I miss this, guys? We need to choose between this and the other one. I think this and there's this. Sort of same thing. But this should be deleted. So go to booking. These two should be imported. Okay. So I'll say use these types in page.tsx and refactor. Wow, I said 10 minutes and 10 minutes are done. I really feel, I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's 10:10 here. Okay, so it will pick them from at types flight booking. I'll delete the other one. Okay, this one here. So I think this is okay. I can accept this. Is it still writing? Yeah, it is still writing. I was wondering why it was not allowing me to tick. So it has changed the booking traveler type. Since I see the issue, the imported traveler type from flight booking has a different structure. Let me refactor to use these steps. I need to keep the local booking traveler interface for the form state and create a helper function. Now let me handle submit function to use the transformation helper. It is doing even more beyond what I told it to do. This approach gives you type safety, easy to use, clear transformation. Let me first see what it has done. The import, I can accept it. This I can accept. Let me do this so that you can see better. So helper function to transform booking traveler API format. Okay, this can do. I can keep this and go step by step. Then what is this? This is the state, okay? This is the type, but this is like hard coded, okay? This is going to be removed. You first do that. Then you have APIs, travelers.map, transform to API traveler. But this has to be removed. Okay, this is going to be removed. So I've achieved that step. Okay, now we can continue step by step. So you can see the form is still there. So what I'm going to do, wow, I really feel tired. Let me just do this final thing and I end it. So I'll give context to the entire frontend folder. Then I'll say the traveler information form should only have fields according to the number of travelers and traveler types in the flight offer. Okay, let's try to fix that, and then I'll call it a day. I'm really exhausted already. So by the end of today, ask yourself, does AI help in faster execution or not? I'll refactor the booking page to dynamically generate traveler forms based on the flight offers traveler information. Let me check the flight offer structure and update the page. I'll update the booking page dynamically generate traveler forms based on the flight offers traveler pricings. And I think in the state, okay, let me see, what do we have here? I want to be sure what is going on. We have flight, selected flight. Okay. It should, because just to use the selected flight. But I don't think we have it in our state anymore because it's not persisted. So look at this, is dynamic traveler initialization. Added user effect hook that fetches travelers based on the traveler pricings array from the flight offer. Each traveler form is now generated from the flight offer traveler pricings data. Flight offer state management. Added flight offer state to store the flight offer data. Added is loading. Travelers are now created dynamically. Says loading states and submit to complete a booking data payload. Now both includes, but at this moment, actually, the flight has already been booked. Okay. Wait, has it? No, it's not yet been booked. I'm getting confused. After this, here it's okay, of course, in the backend, but how it works? No, let's look at the code. No, it's the type. Just be here. So I'll reduce this. Then first remove it and see. Okay, it's picking the flight offer from use state. Okay. But is this the correct? No, this is not from Zustand. I thought it was from Zustand. Okay, has a flight offer, sets travelers. Okay, it's okay. Then we have the use effect, and it has a mock. I seen this mock flight offer. Clearly, it did not pick the context given to it. Okay, this should not be there. We don't need a mock flight offer, but the structure is correct. Okay, the structure is correct. State flight offer, mocking offer. Then the travelers. Okay, mock flight offer. The traveler pricings.map. Let me show you what it's trying to do. So if we have this flight offer, okay, and you have the traveler pricings, okay. I think these traveler pricings, okay. Then because it's a list, okay. So for each of them, it will help you to know how many travelers we have, okay. And on this, I think this argument which is saying traveler type, we can know that whether the traveler is an adult or not. Like, so for this first traveler, in our case, we have only one traveler. Okay. This person is an adult, only one. So if there were two, we would find out from this type. Okay. So you see it says pricing the traveler ID, traveler type, pricing the traveler type. Okay, this is okay. It has removed this mechanical manual thing, which is good. Okay. So I think this traveler type, pricing the traveler type should be dynamic. Okay. Correct. But also things which need to change, which have to be dynamic. Okay. Things like, okay, the gender source and the document type, country calling code. Because if you come here, traveler dot, what is it creating? It's creating a booking traveler. Okay. They're using this, okay, to create this information here, this structure, which is okay. Okay. But also this has to be dynamic, like the gender, the part, the document type. Okay, we shall step by step, like I told you. Then set initial travelers. Okay, that's okay. Set loading false. Let us see what next. Things have been. This order ID is also wrong. I don't know why it keeps on mocking. Flight offer. Okay. So for now I'll keep. Okay. But of course it's still the same thing, okay, which is wrong. So this is what I'm going to do. One more thing before I rest. I keep saying one more thing, but time is it's now 20 minutes since I said one more thing, one more thing. Isn't this that's why I say coding is addictive. Like you don't want to sleep until it's done. So I'm going to say use the selected flight in the also in the add files backend slash how can I add a particular file, guys? Let me search. Say store, not backend, front end. It's not picking the store. Why? I want to remove the backend. I don't want to only front end. I need to like pick a path. Okay. Front end slash source. Let me try src. It's not giving me anyway. I'll figure that later. In the Zustand store, it is the flight offer. Because if you go to the Zustand store, okay, this one is the actual flight offer. Okay, so saying I will update the booking page to use the selected flight from the Zustand store instead of mocking the flight offer. Let me first check the Zustand store structure. Unfortunately, our Zustand store has no types. That's the problem. Okay, let's see. Still working. I think this should be the last thing, and I rest. What are you saying? What are you saying? Let me first read. I want to read the code itself. Start from, okay. It has imported that, it's correct. Then it's getting the selected flight. Okay, state the selected flight, that's correct. It has deleted all the mock data. Okay, that is expected. So you're saying if selected flight, set selected flight as flight offer. Correct. So even this if statement, say, okay. Okay, that's okay. I can keep slicing this. This happens because we have no flight offer. Okay. Because remember, I told that that state is not persistent. So let's try this. Okay. One more chance before I get to bed. Pick the state. Okay, departure on Monday. Let's see. Okay. Selected flight. Confirm and continue. Okay. The error still exists. Let me look for this code. Flight offer.price.currency. If you look at a flight offer, okay, flight offer dot price dot currency, it's actually there, okay, but I think we should change this from flight offer to selected flight offer. Also, since selected flight offer is flight offer, remove flight offer, replace with selected flight offer and refactor. Okay, this is the second last thing I'm doing. I keep postponing. So I wanted to remove this. Okay. I hope it is able to identify. If it won't, once I remove it, we call it a day. Okay, yeah, it has removed. So we're going to test it, and then once it picks up, what is it? Yeah, so this is what I wanted to be removed. So if you're liking this, share the playlist with your friends in your network, and like this video so that YouTube can show it to many other people. Okay. When AI, I've discovered something. When AI finds lines which are many, okay, it takes long to refactor. Okay. This is about 600. It has really sweated refactoring this one. Just okay, it has removed all. Keep. Okay, so you see selected flight dot price dot currency. So that is undefined, but then I would expect selected flight equals to selected flight as flight offer. All right. So now I need to move back. But I think if we had persisted it, okay, we wouldn't need to move back. So make sure we shall have to persist, but not today. Let's try to wrap up. So I'm gonna select the flight, confirm and continue. Wow. Inspect. I'll need to debug this myself. For example, I need to know. Say console.log selected flight, okay? You need to understand, is it actually there? Are you seeing this? The selected flight in from the state, okay? Ah, I see. We didn't set it properly from the other end, okay? From the previous step. I just set the data. I need to have a little things like the booking requirements, okay? Yeah, that's why these things are undefined. I hope you get it, okay? The actual flight offer is inside here. Are you seeing? This is the flight offer. So if I say, if I come and I say, where is it? That's why it's good to some dot data, okay? You see, we have now this, okay? Because since it can be now, I'll put a question mark, dot data, dot, okay. Let me first see what we have here. Okay, we have this, dot flight offers, dot flight offers, like that, okay? We come back here, you check, you see it's now the list, okay? Then now we can get it like that, okay? And there it is, okay? So, wow. So let's see if this will work here. Could not read properties of undefined. Okay, yeah, then that's okay. So it says select flight booking page undefined. No, that's okay. The state has now been lost, okay? Now you understand why we need to carefully, okay, set state and persist state. If I had not logged it, we're going to debug forever. Trust me. You can debug forever and it ends in tears. Trust me. So I'm going to fix that part where I'll show you the part. Okay. That we fix the correct. But here, okay, this part when we are selecting the flight. Actually, here on this page, when we are now confirming the flight offer, we need to set the flight offer, not the entire response we get. Okay. Let me show in Postman in price in confirmation. Okay. This is the result we get. Okay. From this result, we need to set on. We need to pick only this flight offer. Okay. We can take note of the traveler requirements. Okay, like the traveler ID, the gender, documents, blah blah. But what we need is the flight offer. So if we click and confirm and continue, we still have the challenge. So of course, later it prints it. Okay. Now I can comment that out. So it works. Okay. It works. Okay. It works. Okay. This is very good, guys. It works. But okay, we need it to, what can I tell you? We need it to be persisted into the state, okay? So that we don't lose it. Okay, for now this is okay. We can choose the type, expiry date, nationality. This has to be flexible, okay? There's still a number of things to fix. The phone number, the codes, this code needs to be flexible so to put the codes we want. Gender, okay? But at least now we have that, we have what? Traveler information, okay? So if we click next, you see we have the contact information, okay? But also remember, every traveler, if you go to Postman, flight order, see something. Whatever the flight offer, each person has a contact like email, phone. So if you come to this phone, if I go to previous, this phone, okay, I think it would be safer, okay, to put the email and everything here. I don't know what you guys think. Because what if we have, so let me show you email, phones, okay, email and phones. So that we just put it in one instead of putting it this side. City, postal code, I'm not seeing this. I'm only seeing email address and phone. Okay, device type, country calling code, and number. All we need is what? Since this one has a what? You see, this email will be here. These phones will be here. Okay, this number will be here. Country calling code will be here. The device type, we shall put it for them as mobile. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so that we don't need this. So in my free time tomorrow, I'm going to remove this. Okay, and I keep only this. You get it? Okay, now look at this. I want to refresh the page. I'm surprised actually the state is being kept. Okay, let me check. Where is use effect? If selected flight and console.log and print this. Looks like the persistence we set this would be something for me to learn. Okay, so the persistence we did last time works. I thought when you persist it, it needs to be persisted every time, but look like it worked. Okay, let me show you why I think what I'm saying it has worked. Where is that part? Are you seeing this persist function? Okay, at some point something failed, so I thought maybe for every page I have to either persist or there's something wrong, not working. But it looks like it's working. Okay, because no matter how many times I refresh the page, we don't lose the flight of information. Okay, and the information about the travelers. Now we're going to test it one more time. Okay, I'm going to go back to the home page. Okay, and this time I'm going to put 2 adults and we see. Okay, so I'll put this part. So I'll say to that date, to this date, adults 2 such flights. Guys, if you're enjoying this, please like the video. Okay, so I select the flight. Okay, so I think here travel pricings. We have 2 adults. Okay, so in the form, I expect to see two sections for 2 forms. Good work. You've got to be patient. Good work. This is good work. Okay. So you see, we have adult 1, then adult 2. Okay. We're going to eliminate this page here. Okay. This is correct. This is how it's supposed to be. Let's try it again. Okay. I'm going to put 2 adults, put 1 infant. I mean 1 child, 1 infant. From this place, we are moving slowly by slowly, patiently. Then we have let's wait and see. Okay, I select the first flight. I see this time from travel pricing, it indicates the number of people we have. Okay, 2 adults I chose, 1 child, and a held infant. Okay, and this like the itinerary, outbound, return. Okay, the information required. So if I click confirm, I think we'll have 1 form for adult, 1 other form for adult 2, child 3, infant. This is how it's supposed to be. Okay. All right. This is good progress. So yeah, we got it done. But now the next step is going to be concerned with now populating. Okay. Since we have this, now we shall make sure that when someone types in, okay, when someone types into these fields, the form, the state is now populated. Okay. We shall need to set here something for form data. Okay, to populate into the fields. Okay. Then now we send to the backend a request. But a few things we need to sort out, like what can like this. Okay, this contact, this one has to go away. We don't need this. Okay, I'm going to remove it completely. All right, friends. I've been here for around 100 minutes. Okay, 1 hour, probably 40 minutes or so. So let me take a break. I'll meet you in the next stream. I think tomorrow morning, those who have been learning with me Kubernetes will be back in that playlist. Okay. I hope you've had fun and you've learned something. Okay. I enjoy building and doing stuff like this. See you in the next stream and look out for an announcement on the channel. We'll see what we do next and how we achieve.